most expensive.
Other businesses. Really, surgery in general and a lot of what doctors do is a complete scheme. Like, I just sell steak. I try to get the highest quality possible and sell it at the most affordable price. That's all I'm doing. These doctors have a whole strategy from start to finish to make as much money as possible. Of course, there are nuances to my business, but these people take it to a level where they compromise integrity, morality, and they do some very evil things. Starting at the very beginning, even when you're just looking for your doctor, the search algorithms and reviews are controlled. So they might put that doctor at the top of the search, and all of his reviews might be fake, and all of the negative reviews are taken away. So his reputation is.
Google has been forced to sell Google Chrome because it was determined to be a monopoly. So there was really shady shit that they were doing with search engine optimization. They can't do that anymore. So it's just not really a thing.
Is completely fabricated and propped up, and all of the botched cases and bad cases are removed because these search engines and these people at Google are just as guilty as these doctors. They should also be in jail and in prison for being responsible for botching so many patients. And then when you get to the office, in regards to your treatment, the doctor will push unnecessary procedures and try to get you to do something under any circumstance. Their goal is to upsell as much as possible, and that's partially why
that is not the case when you go to a good plastic surgeon.
I was botched. I already paid over $30,000 for my eye procedures, and then literal day before the surgery, the doctor said, "Oh, you should do a 2-stage decompression."
He's lying. He literally made a video where he admitted he is the one who suggested this to the doctor, and the doctor told him he doesn't recommend it.
And it's going to be $9,000 more dollars. So he charged my credit card for $9,000 more dollars, and guess what? That medial decompression that botched the inside of my eye was the reason I had all these complications. So the doctors greed in upselling me on surgery and charging me for unnecessary procedures that I didn't.
Like, by the way, what kind of a fucking retard the day before surgery would agree to some procedure that they know nothing about on their eyes? Like this is just so stupid. This whole story doesn't make any fucking sense.
Truly need was another aspect of the problem. And it gets even worse afterwards. After they have your money, they have no obligation to you. They don't care. After they got the money, a lot of doctors will just ignore you. Some will pretend to help. A lot of them will try to drain your financial resources even further. You'll go to lawyers that'll suck your wallet dry and not actually help you. They'll send you to their buddy doctors that'll take money from you and pretend to treat you and try to help you. And the worst part about all of it is the gaslighting. These doctors are taught to gaslight, which is basically an extreme form of lying and manipulation. They gaslight their patients into believing nothing's wrong with them. They say the same thing over and over again to get the patient to believe that nothing's wrong with them and it's all in their head and that everything's actually okay, because they don't want liability, they don't want to be penalized, and they don't want to lose money.
Gag order to stop talking about it.
All this stuff happening to Whistling Diesel, I've had the same thing, but worse. They just issued the gag order outright, which is a violation of my freedom of speech. It's actually against the law. You cannot receive a gag order unless you are found guilty in court.
I'm pretty sure that's not true. There are circumstances that can happen in court where they can prohibit you from speaking about certain things. So if there's like a risk to a witness or something, they can stop you from speaking about the witness.
And that's not what happened to me. After the default was filed, the judge just issued a gag order and said I can no longer say that this guy steals my research. Basically, everything that I was saying, which I thought was completely truthful and honest and
Oh, yeah, and this reasoning made absolutely no sense. So he lost via default judgment. He said because he lost via default judgment, they can't order him to, not talk about certain things like, the gag order. So he never showed up to court. That's why he lost via default judgment. So what he's saying is all you need to do is never show up to court, and then the court can never prevent you from, not saying anything. It's just fucking retarded.
and just defending myself and my own work, the judge, this crooked judge, just does whatever he wants. But who's going to police these judges? The higher court? I have filed multiple appeals, and
We've looked at his appeals. They're fucking unhinged. He's like schizophrenic, and he starts talking about the Illuminati and shit. It's just this guy is so fucking cracked.
and there's really something to say about how power hungry and demonic some of these people are.
Yeah, dude, Frank is just absolutely cracked.
Also, freedom of speech does not mean freedom from consequences. Why doesn't anyone get that?
I don't know, man. It's almost as if people are entitled retards. Thanks for the donate $2. What are your thoughts on this Reddit post? Frank's financial numbers from his court filings. He's trying to avoid paying court fees by submitting financial disclosures, but the details change depending on the case. Both filings, he lists basic monthly expenses of around $2,300 and only reports about $200 per month in income, with no mention of any business revenue and no explanation of how he's paying the bills he claims to have. What an idiot. Then in the Saladino case, he adds $40,000 per month in credit card debt to his expenses. In the Taban case, there's no reference at all to a $40K monthly credit card bill, even though both filings were submitted around the same time. There are also some other sketchy claims in the Taban paperwork, like Frank saying he's disabled and receiving food stamps. What? He has a food company too, by the way. Credit card companies don't let someone rack up $40,000 every month with no payments. Card would be frozen or sent straight to collections. If he's listing something as a recurring monthly expense, he should be showing where the money to pay it is coming from. It was shown in court that Frank's business made almost $5 million in 2024. Well, he actually made over $5 million. There's a few sources of revenue. There was the Frankie's free range meat, but there's also these huge PayPal payments coming in. I don't know what that's from. That might also be related to the Frankie's free range meat thing. But he took in $1 million from PayPal, and then it was over $4 million from Frankie's free range meat. So the most reasonable assumption is that he's using business income to cover those credit card charges and other expenses, yet he leaves all that out in the filings where he's trying to dodge court fees. As for the food stamp claims, if he's actually receiving them, that might explain why he keeps making videos angry about his business supposedly can't accept EBT. Be another one of his scams. Yeah, well... What in the fuck? Yeah, this is... How does he think anybody is gonna buy this? Why does it... 205? Is that what that says? Total monthly income 205. But he has to pay $2,300 a month for basic expenses? None of this makes any fucking sense. He's such a fucktard. As if anybody is gonna... installment payments, credit card, 40,000. Like what? Installment payments. I don't know how much you'd have to put on your credit card to have $40,000 in monthly payments. Like what? The interest rates are usually around 20%. So he would have to have like hundreds of thousands. Yeah, on his, that would be like 200 grand on his credit card. Oh, fucking cat. Yeah, he's a fucktard, dude. Just absolute idiot.
Top off that people like Frank who use the freedom of speech card don't really be alive in it themselves.
Yeah, I mean, usually it's pretty rare when people invoke freedom of speech that they actually care about freedom of speech. They just invoke it because they think it'll allow them to say whatever the fuck they want.